want to talk to you today about the Promised Land. Approximately 10 years ago, and actually it started even probably 3, 4, maybe 5 years prior to that, the Lord brought me to Council Bluffs. And actually 10 years is when the move actually took place. My family, my wife and I and my youngest son moved to Council Bluffs. And when we moved to Council Bluffs, we moved by faith. We didn't have any land to build a home on. We didn't have financially there was some really real difficulties, but we just trusted God and moved to Council Bluffs. And when we did that, what happened is that He, over a period of time, brought forth a piece of ground that was 27 acres. And on that 27 acres, He told me to build a home. And so we built a home on that piece of land. And the home ended up being spectacular, and it was built on under the thought that God was going to provide all the funds. And all this happened supernaturally as we just trusted Him. And so we built this wonderful home on this piece of land as a matter of restoration after we came out of severe financial situation and really following another direction and not following the Lord. But when we went through the difficult financial situation, what ended up happening is we ended up turning our hearts towards the Lord, and we followed His lead in this. And in the long and short of it, what happened is this 27 acres, God showed me later that He had other plans for it. And so I'm going to talk to you today about the Promised Land. And I think what you'll see is if you look at the attachments, you're going to see that the piece of land that He brought us to and we eventually bought and built on is shaped the same as the Promised Land. And actually there'll be some attachments that you'll be able to look at it. But basically what ends up happening is as you look at it, okay, this piece of land, which is the site plan that in which the home is built on, is shaped the same as the Promised Land. If you take a look at the Promised Land, all right, what ends up happening is the shapes are similar. And so what happened, I didn't know this at the time we were building the house, but eventually God showed me that was the Promised Land, and He had a vision and a plan for the land. And so supernaturally provided funds for the home to be built and the land to be purchased, and it was all on a cash basis until the very end. And on the very end, I asked the Lord, I said, can I borrow some money to finish it so my house can get in? Because the building process was a long time, and I just thought, would it be nice if we could get into the home? And so I felt I had a release, and so He went ahead. And so I went ahead and finished the house, and I borrowed a little bit of money, not on the house, but on one piece of the land, and finished the house. When we moved into the house, I was going to sell part of the land in order to pay off the debt that we had incurred through the process. And so when that happened, and I put a sign up on the piece of land that was encumbered, what ended up happening is that the Lord brought me into my office, and He showed me that the land was shaped the same as the Promised Land, and He had a vision and plan for the entire parcel, the entire piece of land. It was the Promised Land. And so in that process, and that happened, and the whole process in Council Bluffs, like I said, began about 10 years ago. But in the meantime, in that process, we've been living on the land and just building vision for the land. And so in the meantime, what happens is God gave me a vision. And so the vision here is that there's a plan for a sanctuary. There's a plan for several different worship centers. There's a plan for actually a building that both physical healing and inner healing takes place. There's also a plan for various residential homes and or housing. And also there's a plan for some athletic areas, as well as there's a plan for some type of a protection area that is actually as you come in the entrance area here. And so I just want to talk to you about it, and we're in the process of building vision for it. And so as one of the things, as donations come in, one of the things and one of the visions that we're building towards is for this incredible vision to come forth, that God can bring physical and inner healing, and just healing the whole heart through this campus that He wants to put together. And so as you go through and as you give donations, this is one of the areas that we collect donations for. And so again, thank you very much. And again, thanks for watching.